Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 16 Minutes, a new show here at CNT where we will cover a range of topics weekly, including politics, lifestyle, pop culture, business, health, and science. I am your host, Nigel Worcestershire, and tonight you'll join me as we sit down for 16 minutes with one Hudson Welsh, local entrepreneur and owner of the recently opened Shadowcade. Join us tonight on 16 Minutes as we sit down with the man behind the mask and shed light on Shadowcade. Welcome. We're here tonight with Mr. Welsh on location at the Shadowcade. Mr. Welsh, how are you doing this evening, mate?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. All right. I appreciate that, mate. And we appreciate you taking the time here at 16 Minutes, having us at the Shadowcade here, mate. Absolutely fantastic facilities you've got here, as I'm sure that people at home can see in the shot. Fantastic arcade machines behind us. We've got this memorabilia case I'm sure we'll be getting into as well. Beautiful facilities, mate. How did this whole place come about, Mr. Welsh? Tell us a little bit about it, a little bit about the process here.
Gotcha. So, when I first moved to the city, I had plans to open up something that could kind of bring the community together in a sense. But also, we wanted to be able to provide some sort of entertainment that there wasn't already available in a sense, and this is kind of where it all led to over I'd say the last 5 to 6 months of work.
So absolutely, mate. So you would say that you found a need through the people of San Andreas and in true entrepreneurial fashion, you found a need and you filled it, mate, you would say, right?
Yeah, I think we're working on that for sure.
Absolutely. And what has public response been so far to the Shadowcade?
So far people have loved it. We did our opening night, and we didn't have a whole lot of things available yet to the public. More so just drinks and live performances, music and whatnot. And our opening night was had an astounding response, shoulder to shoulder for a good 3 hour, 2 to 3 hours straight. And since then, as we've brought more things in for people to do and purchase to have fun with, everybody has so far enjoyed it, I believe.
Sure thing. We saw as we approached the building, you had a line outside. We do appreciate you closing down to do this interview tonight. All right. And we hope we aren't a bit of too much of a disruption for business. And hopefully it would turn around and generate some hype, I guess, for the folks outside. A bit of a secretive thing happening inside here at the Shadowcade.
Absolutely, I think so. I think you're right.
Sure thing. Tell us a little bit about the things in the case behind you, mate. What have we got here? I see a bit of a trophy here, a golden pistol of sorts, a golden rim over here. Is there any of these things have meaning behind them at the Shadowcade, or just sort of a fancy display case?
Currently, it's more so just a fancy display case. These can currently contain trophies related to games that are on the floor right now. At the moment, we are working on testing and development of the games that are going to be installed on the machines. I believe we're hopefully just a couple of weeks away from these actually launching. People will be able to come into the arcade and purchase tokens to play the games. We should be providing at least 5 single player games and 4 multiplayer games for other people to play with people in the arcade. Then along with that, we'll have high scores kind of synced throughout the city on the games, and over time we'll do events, prized events over a week or two period, and there will be one of a kind trophies given out to the high score holders, and those will also be displayed in this case behind us.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. Well, you heard it here, folks. You'll be able to come down to the Shadowcade soon and play these bit of games here and try your hand at a bit of a high score here. That you'll have people chasing the best of the best here at the Shadowcade. That's absolutely fantastic thing you guys got working here. A bit of the future, mate.
Hey, thank you so much. We've also, if I could go into it a little bit, we also have something else coming a little bit farther down the pipeline. Alongside that, we eventually will be bringing a handheld gaming device. I can't release the name of it yet, but to the city that people will be able to pick up here and keep on them. And any time that they feel like they just want to play some games without having to come down here, they'll be able to pull it out and play some games. And then every month or two, we'll bring in a new cartridge that they can come in and pick up and play on their device from wherever they are in the city.
Oi, yo, a bit of a portable gaming device here you're going to be putting in the hands, branching Shadowcade out from the traditional brick and mortar and putting yourselves in the people's hands on the go. That's absolutely fantastic, mate. Can you take us a bit on that journey, mate? How it comes from, getting the brick and mortar here established, and you had talked about moving into retail as well a bit earlier. Can you tell us more about that? What are some of the things that you're retailing here at the Shadowcade?
So currently we and a lot of people around the city have already seen these and have been coming to pick them up. I believe we've sold in the past 2 or 3 days. We've gone through about 70 of these, but we are selling these.
70, mate.
Yeah. We here we go. This here is the Muffy
Oi,
plushie.
yo, the Muffy plushie,
The
ladies
Muffy
and gentlemen.
plushie. Yes.
Absolutely.
So we currently have 9 different plushies like this, which are on the sales counter over there if you'd like to get a shot of that later. But we're going to be selling only this one for 2 weeks total. We're already almost I'd say we're 4 days into that. So we've got about a week and a half left. And then after
All right.
that, it's going to get shelved and you won't be able to buy it anymore.
Oh, so a limited run production here.
Yeah. Definitely limited time. And then we'll be moving on to the next one. And the same thing, 2 weeks, and then that'll be gone, and then 2 weeks for the next. And like I said, we have 9 of them, so that'll be 2 weeks. That'll be 18 weeks, so 6 months before we get back to having this one available again.
Boy, yo. So they'll be on a rotation. So the Muffy plushie will come back to rotation after the 18 weeks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fantastic little sales distribution methods you've come up with there. Should drum up quite a bit of demand for the plushies here, mate. How did that come about, all right, with the plushies there? How did that idea come about to the Shadowcade?
I honestly, I kind of have to give a little bit of credit for the idea to Public Works and the bears that they're doing. Though we do sell them cheaper than Public Works, but
Oh, yo.
we already had the I'm not sure if you can see it in the shot here, but there's a claw machine back there that already had these available for people who could play it to have a chance at winning, and we decided to just offer a chance for people to be able to outright buy them at the sales counter. And it's also kind of just something to give the public to have and show off, collect, and play with, or cuddle with, whatever you're into, until some other merch that we're working on vigorously is completed.
Don't get caught out in that stormy weather, feller. Get yourself a CNT umbrella. You know what's better than being wetter? Having a CNT umbrella. Get on down to CNT and get yourself one today. www.cnt-sa.com.
So other merchandise coming on the way from the Shadowcade, mate. You're going to give 16 minutes a little exclusive sneak peek on what we might have in store.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We are working on bringing in essentially it will be a Kinder Egg, and we'll be doing different
Kinder
volumes.
Egg, mate. So, let me back you up. Tell the folks at home, for those that don't know, a little bit more about what you're speaking of there.
All right. Well, our Kinder Egg is it's going to be more of like the traditional Kinder Egg that was originally banned in the United States here for for a choking hazard. We're going to be changing that up a little bit and more just making it a plastic egg that isn't candy, has no chocolate. You can't eat it, but you buy one and inside it is going to be a random figurine or a toy. But each volume will have 10 different characters in it. A possibility of every time you buy one, you get one of those 10. You never know which one. And each figure will be of somebody who is actually in the city. Will be whether it's an officer,
Prominent figures around
of,
San Andreas are going to be perceived on this toy line.
Yes, absolutely. They will. They'll be a lot like the toys that you currently see over at the Hardcore Comic Shop.
Oh, yo, rather fantastic, mate. And another little, limited run distribution here. These are going to be available full time. They're going to cycle out. I heard you say volumes, mate.
These ones will be kept, I believe, year round. So we'll have, like I said, volume 1, which will have 10 people in it. There will be different chances of getting them. Some will be ultra rare, a 1% chance of anybody ever buying the Kinder Egg that has that one in it. We'll also have rare and then less common and then very common and so on. distributed between the 10, and then eventually, maybe say a month and a half later, we'll release volume 2, but we'll still sell volume 1 to give people a chance to continue trying to get that ultra rare if that's if they're a collector that's interested in really trying to get that.
Right, right. So the volumes will be simultaneously available.
Yes,
That's
as they're
fantastic
released.
for collectors and folks alike. Absolutely, another fantastic idea you've got going on here at the Shadowcade, mate.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. We want to be able to give other people around the city of Los Santos a chance to have one made. So in due time, probably after the second volume is released, we'll probably do some sort of raffle every month that we're going to be releasing one of these eggs, and let people buy tickets. And maybe the raffle will last a week or two, and then at the end, whoever won that raffle will get to have a toy of themselves made and inserted into the manufacturing of these Kinder eggs.
oh, that'll be quite the event, mate. I'm sure folks will be lined up down the street looking forward to that. All right, having themselves digitized, I guess, would you say, in a toy? I'm not sure if that was the correct verbiage there, but absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So let me segue a bit, mate, let's try to find out more a bit about yourself here, mate, and take us on a bit about your journey, mate, and what got you here today. All right, a little bit of your background. Who is Mr. Hudson Welsh?
Man, that's a deep story, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm only gonna go into that shallowly, but I came from a different city where I grew up with my family there, and some stuff kind of tore apart the family and sent me having to leave that city. So I wanted to come here and kind of turn where my life was heading around, and this is just kind of where it led me to. You know, I grew up around my uncle mostly, who actually owned a magic shop that was one of the most prestigious in that city for teaching magicians sleight of hand and just show magic, right? Showmanship. And
Absolutely.
so I kind of grew up around little trinkets and little things, and maybe that's kind of what pushed me towards the toys and stuff and the arcade era of things, kind of somewhat keeping that, but also breaking away from what it was, right?
Sure thing.
Now introducing Reality Checks. Get your daily dose of reality every morning and wake up with CNT Reality Checks. Get your reality in check today. www.cnt-sa.com.
So I have to ask, mate. I've been told that you haven't been seen or photographed without your mask here, mate. What's that all about? The mask you're seen donning here today.
Oh, gotcha. The mask is I wouldn't say it's necessarily anything of of religious meaning. Some people seem to believe that, but it more just comes from ancestral where my family comes from.
Told us a bit about some of the things you've got going on here at the Shadowcade, mate. Take us a bit down the 10-year path. Where does Mr. Welsh see himself here in his personal life and at the Shadowcade here in 10 years, mate?
In 10 years, not having to be inside Shadowcade.
Oh, yeah, a bit of retirement, mate. Right.
I would really hope so. Don't get me wrong. You know, my this place is my love, my passion, my baby girl, if you will, right? But ultimately 10 years, that's a long time. So we have a lot of things packed in the future. We'll constantly be doing a lot of events and whatnot. We have a couple other like co-owners, if you will, that manage the event side of things and our drinks and all that specialty stuff. But between what I've already discussed with you and that kind of gives us a lot to do over time while we develop
Sure thing.
some other things that will be way bigger than the handheld device I spoke of. And I can't really get too much into that right now, but that will lead to a whole nother realm in the city, if you will.
Absolutely. It sounds like you guys have already got a bit of a fantastic roadmap here going for the Shadowcade, mate. Absolutely fantastic development process you've got here going. It sounds like you've got some great folks there in the back room with you, mate.
Absolutely, they're fantastic. Our staff, I literally cannot thank them enough. They've done an amazing job, especially like I mentioned how our opening night was jam packed, and I believe we only had 3 or 4 other employees actually on duty, and they handled it like champs. And we had so many other friends and family from around the city that came down and just volunteered and helped take people's orders and provide security around the place, and there's tons of help. It's been outstanding.
Sure thing, rather fantastic, mate. So as we wrap up here, Mr. Welsh, why don't you leave the fellow entrepreneurs out there tuning into 16 minutes this week with something memorable, mate? Maybe a quote, so to speak, on how to help them with their journey to possibly get to your position that you're in today.
Man, let's see. Really, it comes down to finding something that you have a passion for and then not giving up on that, you know. And the biggest thing that I would stress and recommend and hope that other entrepreneurs around the city are going to do as they try to bring their stuff into the city that they like is just have a high standard, a high level of quality of what we bring in. Because I'm not going to drop any names, but I have seen other places that have just, it feels very low effort and stuff that they've tried to bring in, and then they just disappear. You know, money grabs. Don't be in it for the quick cash. You know, if you bring in a quality product, it'll pay itself 1,000-fold in due time.
Absolutely, you heard it there, folks. Find your passion, right? It's not always about the money, you know. So that's another quote, right? And that's what they say. If you love what you do, it's not like work. You won't work another day of your life, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Well, Mr. Welsh, we right appreciate you taking the time here this week at 16 minutes, mate. Thank you very much for having us here at the Shadowcade, and we wish you the best on your future endeavors. All right, mate?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for interviewing.
Sure thing. Thank you, mate, for your time. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and keep your eyes peeled on Shadowcade in the near future for a host of experiences, including a handheld gaming device, playable arcade games, and a limited line of plushies and collectible action figures. I am Nigel Worcestershire, and this has been 16 Minutes. Join us next week as we sit down with State Attorney Cole Gordon.